17th chapter. We are doing the 17th chapter summary, that is Shraddhatrayavibhaga Yoga. So let us prepare ourselves with Shraddha. Let us sit straight. Head, neck, backbone straight. Let us withdraw our mind from all that has happened in the past. Our goal in life must be learning, not experience. What am I learning from different experiences must be the goal. Then experience becomes secondary. Learning must become primary goal. If experience becomes the primary goal, then there is a challenge. Anubhavaneva nivrutti parama, Jnaneshwar Maharaj says. So when we start learning from our experiences, we must keep only those things in the memory which will create happiness in our mind, because there are two kinds of happiness. One is experiential learning, experiential happiness, senses contact based happiness. One is memory based happiness. Memory based happiness is more powerful. Let us withdraw our mind from all future anxieties, present tension. These are called as wasteful thoughts. There are different kinds of thoughts. Duty thoughts, wasteful thoughts, inspiring thoughts. Wasteful thoughts are those which are only involved into past, future, and present confusions. Let us focus our attention on the breath. Life only contacts us in the present moment. Even the past, future comes in the present moment only. There is no concept as past and present, past and future. One of the tools to bring the mind in the present moment is the breath. Instantly the mind comes in the present moment when we focus on the breath and observe the breath's movements. There are three choices to us: either expression of thoughts, suppression of thoughts, or observation. Observation is the best. How the inflow and outflow is happening. Let us take a conscious, deep, slow breath. When we take a conscious, deep, slow breath, the entire attention comes on the breath. Observing thoughts is a very subtle sadhana. And between the thoughts, there is a gap. In that gap, we can find God. So let us invoke God's grace and Guru Parampara's blessings by chanting loudly. When we chant loudly, the sound vibrations also are important for our healing of the body. And most prayers are affirmations which are invoking the highest.
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गजाननं भूतगणातिसेवितं कवित्तजम्बूफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजं। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुः च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। हरि ओम।
Hari Om. Thank you, Lata Rajshekhar ji. So we are doing Bhagavad Gita, chapter-wise summary. When we are doing summary, that means we must know what is the summary of Bhagavad Gita also. Summary of Bhagavad Gita is only one, which is the first portion of second chapter where Bhagavan starts the discourse. That is the main thing, because many times when we ask people, those who have studied also for a lot of time, scriptures, ki what is the summary of Bhagavad Gita, they say, do your duty. Do your duty is not the main point. Doing duty is the means. And the main summary of Bhagavad Gita is only one, know thyself. Because Bhagavan started second chapter with, who are you? And he explained a lot of verses and proved Arjun that there is no point of grieving. Those who grieve, those who are sad, those who are depressed, they have not understood Bhagavad Gita or not read Bhagavad Gita. And after knowing the description of self, why I'm not experiencing, then all the further Bhagavad Gita happens. So in the 16th chapter, conclusion, Bhagavan said that those who do not follow the injunctions of the scriptures, they will not attain the spiritual goal. Not only that, he told they will go downwards. So immediately on behalf of all of us, Arjun asked this question, which is a wonderful question, ki Bhagavan, I have read scripture somewhat, but I do not follow injunctions of scriptures all the day because I don't remember all those things. But I have faith on God. I have faith on what you say, but I don't follow scriptural injunctions in day-to-day life, in my married life, job life, business life. Then what about me? In which category would you put me? Whether I will also go down the drain and not attain the goal because Lord has inspired Arjun by giving a goal of life because Arjun is a warrior. He wants to achieve something in life. So Bhagavan said that in the 17th chapter that you have faith, correct, but then it will depend upon what kind of faith you have. So this is a subtle point because we never think of this. Because many of us think that because I go to temple and read scriptures, I am a spiritual person, but spirituality is not in action. Spirituality is into attitude. That is the main point of Karma Yoga. So what kind of faith you have? What kind of faith you have means what? Means there are three kinds of faith, Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. But that I did in the earlier chapters. Why again 17th chapter you are introducing? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas I have dealt in detail. No, this is very important because faith is very subtle to understand. And depending upon your faith, even though you believe in God, even though you read scriptures, even though you go to temple, your faith might be tamasic. Your faith might be rajasic, who knows? Because I go to temple only for asking something for myself. भगवान मेरा health अच्छा कर दो. भगवान मेरे family को अच्छा कर दो. I'm not asking God, from God कि भगवान please ensure I know myself. That is the goal. So how to know my faith? Next question. So Bhagavan told, Swabhavaja, from your swabhava, from your nature, from your tendency, you can find out the faith. So how to know my swabhava? How to know my tendencies? How to know my inclinations? How to know my motivations? Bhagavan told, observe your day-to-day life. First thing in the morning when you get up, what you do, and before you go to sleep, what you do. How you sleep also is very important. So observe your day-to-day life. I will give you 6 dials to check. 8 dials to give. 8 dials. So we have covered, I think 6 dials, 2 dials are remaining. So morning to evening, you check these 6 dials which are coming on the dashboard of a car. And this body, mind, intellect is your car. This is an instrument given by me to you. Who has given the body? No, my parents gave the body. Parents only do only certain things, but how the baby grows inside the womb, how the baby comes out, how the baby grows, nobody knows. So body is given to us, mind is given, which is such a beautiful, innocent mind. Intellect is given, which is so curious. And after 30, 40 years, what we do with our body, what we do with our mind, because now today we are going to talk about mind, very, very important point. And what we do with our intellect, how do we drive this car of body, mind, intellect? So here 6 dials are given. What are those dials? We saw 6 of them and now 2 are remaining. So these dials are given for our own observations, our own introspection. As Gurudev says, introspect daily. Yajante, first dial is Yajante. Who, what do I worship? Do I worship purity? Do I worship harmony? Do I worship beauty? Do I worship truth? Sacrifice, knowledge, very important. Do I worship Atman? Do I worship God? Do I worship peace? In day-to-day transaction, I must not trade off peace, beauty, harmony in relationships. So this has to be thought of subtly. What do I create? What do I worship? Because whatever I worship, my energies will go there. These are my motivations. Second, ahara. What kind of food I eat? Bhagavan gave 6 pointers. I am only taking the sattvic. Rajasic, tamasic was discussed in detail. So the food I must eat for longevity, I must ask whether this food will give me longevity. This food will give me vitality. These are all given. These are not created by me. Whether the food is giving me strength, carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, how many are there? Whether this food is giving me happiness while eating, not like that. There is one stall in Thane, which is giving vada or misal. And he has 3 categories: very tikha, medium tikha, low tikha. And still there is a maximum crowd and maximum tikha. And then while eating itself, my people do, eyes are watering, but maja aa raha hai, maja aa raha hai. And after 2 hours, then again maja comes in the chest and stomach. And then I have to eat lot of water, juice, but maja aata hai, tikha, maja aata hai. And then there is satisfaction after eating. So all these things are very nice to do if I do not have a goal to meditate. Again, the point is only one. If I do not want to meditate for long time, if I don't want to focus on my own self, if I don't want to get the essence of scriptures, if I don't want to read scripture in detail, if I don't want to listen to a discourse completely 1 hour without distraction, then I have to do all this thing. Otherwise, it is not required. And I can check how much time my mind remains in present moment, how much my mind remains when the discourse goes on, when I'm reading a scripture, when I'm meditating, when I'm doing japa. Otherwise, while doing japa, my mind goes all over the world and comes back. Japa is going on. So these are all things will happen if I don't follow this. Yajna means how do I act? What is my attitude in action? Karma yoga is not action yoga. Karma yoga is attitude yoga. Karma yoga is not only being busy and doing actions whole day from morning to evening. As Swami Advaita says, doing some social work, going to temple and then saying that I am doing karma yoga. Whole day I am busy. I don't have time, but I am a karma yogi. No. I do some food dana. All this karma yoga means I do actions only for one reason, to know thyself. If that know thyself is not there, or knowing God is not there, or realization is not there, then the karma yoga becomes karma bandhana. So action without insistence, anxiety, resistance, result for action, action in accordance with scriptures. Action itself is joy. This is my favorite point, when action itself is joy, when talking itself is joy, when listening itself is joy, when just brushing itself is joy, just going into the bathroom and water coming on the body, that itself is joy. Eating itself is joy, cooking itself is joy, working itself is joy. Then the prasad buddhi comes. That is, I am not interested much in the results. Though I want the results, but I am not so attached to the result, because results becomes insignificant. So, third dial is how do I act? Tapas, fourth. In this, there are 3 given. We have covered 2. What controls we exercise on our body? So Bhagavan gave body must be kept clean. Not only body, surroundings also must be kept clean. Last time we discussed hair properly, underarms, no smell, nails, especially nails should be. Some people wear chappals and shoes, and chappals and shoes are so dirty. Every day I will clean my sofa and mobile phone, but I will not polish my shoes. I must, at least after 3-4 days, I must take some wet cloth and rub my sandals and chappal. Some people chappal, sandals are so dirty. Cleanliness, self-control, brahmacharya, non-injury at the body level. I must not harm, I must not slap somebody, I must not beat somebody. In self-defense, I must. Humility in actions, these are all at body level sadhana. And humility towards God, teacher, wise people, and those who have Vedic knowledge. I must not criticize people who are on spiritual path. Then we last time saw one of the very important topic, one of my favorite topic, because this is a business I am into. Speech. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priya hitam chayata. This I must by heart and keep. Anudvegakaram vakyam means with my words I must not create restlessness in other person's mind and my mind. Very, very important point. I must always create peace in other people's mind by my talking. How much do I talk? Some people talk whole day, communicate nothing. Whether my speech is truthful, how do I know? Yeah, I speak truth, but your truth is based on WhatsApp University, on your YouTube University. Is that the truth? It must be pleasant. No, but I am very straightforward person. Whatever comes in my mind, I speak. I don't care what other people feel because I am speaking truth. Second, is Satyam Hitam Priyam? Is it Priyam? And very, very important point. Most of us are involved in talking about me, my story only. What happened in my life. Third pointer Bhagavan has given is that Hitam. Is it beneficial to others? No, other person is getting bored. But still I am talking because my story. So, Satyam, Hitam, Priyam. And Guruji has added Mitam. Mitam means brief. Beneficial to others. This we will just cover. Mind and Dana we are going to cover. So, tapas at mind level, 5 aspects are given. So, tapas, this is called as tapas. Tapas means tapa. Tapa means which is going to come now. Again, there is a topic on tapa. Tapa means opposite of patan. Pata means going down. Tapa means I have to work for it. I have to introspect. What all things I spoke today, from morning to evening, I must make a list. Whether it was about God, whether it was creating desire for realization, truth, or it was my story only. After 200 years, what is going to happen? Nobody is going to have this interest in these stories. So now very important point, as we mentioned last time, when I was reading this and learning this, silence was not given. Maunam was not given at the speech level. I thought Maunam will be given at the speech level, but Maunam is given at the mind level. So, Mana Prasada Saumyatvam, Maunam Atma Vinigraha. So here is the Maunam given coming of the mind. Bhava Samshuddhi Rityetata Tapo Manasa Uchchate. This is the practice I have to do at mind level. So very, very practical practices given at the body level. Do not harm anybody. Self-control in eating, seeing WhatsApp, looking at YouTube. Average today is 4 hours 35 minutes. A person looks into screen. Screen time 4 hours 35 minutes it has come. All of us can check your own mobile today after this class is over and check what is your screen time. That should be tapas at the body level. And then at the speech level, now we are coming into mind level. So what are the 5 aspects given to be practiced at the mind level? First of all, I must ask whether my mind has become a factory of producing sorrow, anger, or joy. Or sadness. Some people's mind creates, it's a factory, all the time anxious, all the time sad, all the time angry, frustrated, all the time in the sense, majority of the time. It's a factory, it creates that only because whatever we put, it will create that. Or is it creating joy? Because unless the mind becomes peaceful, this is very important to note. Peace of mind will lead to peace of self. If the mind is not peaceful, all these things will remain at the intellectual level as understanding. It will not become actual experience. So, mind, signs of spiritual growth. 5 signs are given for practice. First one, mana prasada. Prasada means prashanti, purity, prasanna, cheerfulness. So, from morning to evening, my mind must remain peaceful, cheerful, prashant. Anytime any other thought coming in my mind, I must check, oh no, this is not a peaceful thought. This is not a cheerful thought. So this is our practice at the mind level. I must check what is my mood of the mind. What is the mood of the mind? What is going on the background? Shruti. Outside, I may, the feelings come and go. This is a distinction between feelings and mood. Feelings may come and go here and there, but what is my basic mood? Whether I'm cheerful, whether I'm relaxed, whether I'm at my ease most of the time, the mind is alert, peaceful. This mind is required for scriptural studies. This mind is required for japa. This mind is needed for meditation. So, mana prasada, first aspect, very, very important point. When we ask people, are you happy? Yeah, yeah. What is happiness? State of mind. Whose state of mind? My state of mind. If it is my state of mind, one question to ask, if it is my own state of mind, then on my instructions, mind must create all happy thoughts during the day. But it is not creating happy thoughts because the mind is not in my control. Mind is in somebody else's control. What a tragedy. Mind is in mobile's control. My mind is in control of another person in my family. Bigger tragedy. When sattva dominates, mind is prasada. What is the definition of prasada? Quiet, alert, serene. Agitated mind is rajas, rajasic mind. And sadness, depressed mind is tamasic mind. Greatest enemy of our own mind is sadness. Anger is not the enemy. Anger we can overcome. Bhagavan has said, Ashocha nanva shochastvam. And Bhagavad Gita is called as Ashoka Upanishad because Bhagavan started the discourse with shoka, sadness, and has ended the discourse in Bhagavad Gita by shoka. Sadness, depression, regrets, these are all biggest enemies of our mind. I must immediately overcome. Not allow any time for sadness to come near me also. Immediately I must go outside, laugh, dance, walk, jog, see something. Not allow our mind to become sad because it builds up. Most of the time, why does the mind become sad? Because mind becomes angry when there is a desire which is thwarted. And mind becomes sad when this desire cannot be fulfilled in this life. And that's the reason death of somebody. I'm not going to meet this person now henceforth. This will create lot of sadness. And Bhagavan has given in the second chapter, I have to go back. Those people who are again experiencing sadness, grief, depression, they must go back and read the first 25-30 verses of Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, where Bhagavan starts the discourse. He has given several points, almost 10, 15 points, that why grief is illogical, grief is invalid. From all perspectives, he has given it. Starting, Bhagwan gives discourse on Bhagavad Gita on sadness, grief, because Arjuna is in grief. Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Saumyatvam, second point. Good-heartedness, kindness, warmth, affectionate, humble. This can only happen when I start experiencing oneness. Always ensures a smile in all interactions. So whenever we meet people, I must also, one corner of our eye must be on the other person when I'm talking, when I'm interacting. What is the expression of the other person? Whether the person is bored, whether the person is getting irritated, whether other person is getting frustrated, whether other person is getting angry with my thoughts and my words. So always ensure smile in self and others, inner cheerful state. This is my duty. What happens outside is not in my control, but what happens inside, definitely I must have control. Mind is there in my control. Mind must be in my control. This I must create every moment. And this will happen by practice. Maunam, silence. Noiseless inner calm. So now you can do an experiment right now. So many thoughts are coming and going. There is weight of those thoughts, burden of those thoughts. But what is my natural state of mind? The natural state of mind is, I must note down. The natural state of my mind is peace. So all the time the mind wants to come back to the peace, but because of the desire, so many thoughts, quantity of thoughts, quality of thoughts, direction of thoughts, state of a muni. That's the reason a person is called as a muni who go to forest, because they want peace. Contemplation I want to do on what is Brahman, what is Atma. I want to contemplate for hours and days. For that, mind must be peaceful. Noiseless inner calm. Very beautiful word. And that is the natural state of the mind. So I never say to people, today I am feeling very tired of my peace. Today I am feeling very tired of my happiness. So whenever I am feeling tired, tiredness is a function of the mind. Important. Silence of speech must arise from silence of mind. That's the reason Bhagavan gave Maunam as the quality of the mind. Suppose I am practicing Maunam, Hariyom, this is very, very important. Suppose I am practicing Maunam at speech level and there are thousands of thoughts going in my mind, then it will lead to suppression. I am not going to talk to you. Mostly, this is one of the trait of women. Women's silence is not actual silence. It may be storm before the silence. Because inside what is happening, that is what is important. So, this is the point what I was mentioning, that when is that Maunam coming? So, Maunam of the mind is very important. Not Maunam of the speech. And Maunam of mind must lead to Maunam of speech. Silence of speech must arise from silence of the mind. Atma Vinigraha. Here Atma means mind, because Atma word has different meanings. And that's the reason we require Adi Shankaracharya, we require teachers to teach Bhagavad Gita, because in different places Atma word comes. Sometimes it is Atma, that is my own self. Sometimes it is mind. Sometimes instead of mind means intellect, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. Different terminologies are given. So we have to understand the context. So mind management. So I have to understand what is mind. So quickly, mind is flow of thoughts. Like a river. What are the banks of the river? I am body, mind, intellect. World is real. These are the two banks between which the mind flows. And how does the mind flow? Mind flows from inside to outside towards the object through the senses. So that's the reason in meditation or in contemplation, I have to shut the senses so that mind doesn't go out. Maximum mind goes out through two senses, eyes and, because this tongue is for two reasons, taste and speech. And one of the sense which we are not able to control or we are not able to shut is the ears. Because Shruti also comes from here, Bhagavad Gita knowledge also comes from here, and somebody's insult also comes from here. So mind is a vessel, and unfortunately, fortunately, God's grace, God has given only one vessel. In our house, we have different vessels for sambar and boiling milk. 99%, even if the poorest poor, he will have two vessels. One for sambar with onion and all, one for milk. But here Bhagavan has given only one vessel, mind. And that's the reason whenever this mind goes out, it will become dirty and come back. And then I have to purify it, clean my mind. So I must ask myself that did I take bath today? Yes, yes. Did I brush today? Yes, yes. Have I worn nice clean clothes today? Yes, yes. But have I cleaned my mind today? No, no, no. I have not cleaned my mind for 40, 50 years because I still hold on to somebody who told me some 20, 30 years back. You told me this, I will not meet you again. I'm holding on to it. What all things when you meet people and ask them to, can you tell your story, please? Yeah, yeah. My story, I will start from my parents only. And from there, my story starts, and then so many things I'm holding which are not required. So, what is the mind diet? Mind, if I do body diet, then body will be coming in control. There is a mind gym and there is a mind diet I must follow. And when I do the mind gym and mind diet, mind will start listening to me. Mind will become less impulsive and less reactive. Otherwise, all this scriptural knowledge will can only show up. My progress will only show up, as Guruji says, one parameter is very important. When the stimuli comes from outside, what is my response? This is where Bhagavad Gita knowledge should come in between. The moment somebody says something, I am so impulsive and so reactive because I am not putting that impulse and stimuli through this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So, Guruji said a very important point that before reading Bhagavad Gita, before understanding Bhagavad Gita, before contemplating of Bhagavad Gita, and after, what is the difference? My response to stimuli changes. How do I respond now? So, suppose you ask yourself, this must be written down and this must be shared with people. 20 years back, 15 years back, 10 years back, 5 years back, I started this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Today, my response to situations are different than earlier. Suppose this Bhagavad Gita knowledge wouldn't have been there. When some failure would happens, when some death happens, when something happens in the family, job, business, this would have been my reaction. But now this reaction is there, but it is only 2%, 3%, 70%, 90% my reaction is this, my response is this. And that is how Atma Vinigraha will start happening. Bhava Samshuddhi is very, very important because this is the core. Now we are going to the deeper aspect. Nobility, purity of motives. What is my intention is more important than what is my action. And that's the reason there are two things, Shabdartha and Lakshartha. And there are two things, content and intent. From today, we must focus on other person's intent, not content. What is the intention of the other person? What is the intention of mine to go to temple? What is the intention of mine to get married? What is the intention of mine to have a family? What is the intention of my intention to do a job? What is my intention of doing business? This is where the Karma Yoga will start happening at the mind level, because Karma Yoga is called as Buddhi Yoga. It is understanding. Karma Yoga is not action. Karma Yoga is understanding, and then understanding happens at the mind level. Very, very important. Guruji says that that's the reason Karma Yoga is not understood very properly after many years and decades also. And that's the reason Arjun asked what to do. He did the same thing what he would have done earlier, only his attitude changed. His attitude changed while fighting the war. And this bhava samshuddhi can happen only with oneness of knowledge. My discriminations slowly reduces. This is mine, this is yours. This is at the transactional level. At the back of the mind, I can see the oneness at the Atma level. And that's the reason in Karma Yoga, slowly, the span of expansion has to happen. First of all, me. Then when I get married and have a job, there is a family in the job and family. So my expansion happens. This is my family. Then most of us, we get stuck there only. Then it is my society, my country, my universe, and then religion, and then God, which is omnipresent. So that is how the action starts expanding more and more. Practice, be cheerful. Gurudev says, keep nothing, reflect everything. The mind must be the mirror. Keep nothing, reflect everything, respond, but I must not keep anything in my mind. So one of the homework for this week, last week's homework was speech. This week's homework is what? I must check the content of my mind. What all things I have stored in my own mind. My school, my college, my family, my achievements, my failures, my health, my body. This is one. And then my knowledge. So more and more my knowledge must be increasing. Then Gurudev says regulate the quantity, quality and direction of the thoughts. That is at the mind level. Very important. I am happy, but that but. Also, one of the homework is that check whether I am holding on to some anger of the past, regret of the past, unfulfilled desires, somebody, I have not forgiven somebody. So this I need to check every day, because every day I take bath, every day I comb my hair, put nice perfume on the body. Every day I must do the same thing with the mind. I must give a bath to the mind. I must put perfume on the mind. And then I must go out in the market, socially interact with the family, society, and then again come back, and every day I must take bath. What are these baths? Clean the mind every day by forgiveness, japa and affirmations. 3 things. And with this scriptural knowledge that my real nature is pure existence, consciousness, infinite bliss. This cleaning of the mind is the main aspect, practice what Bhagwan is telling Arjun and to all of us. Every day ask, can I forgive myself today? Can I forgive somebody? Today somebody I will forgive. Forgiveness is coming in all scripture, so it is not very easy. I have forgiven him. No. If I have forgiven everybody in life, then there will be peace of mind. And then every day I must do affirmations. What affirmations? My body is healthy. My mind is cheerful. My intellect is clear. I am inviting abundance of happiness, peace, health, joy, whatever I want, wealth, prosperity. I am using every moment of this particular life for realization. For that, I am doing karma. I can have my own affirmations. So this is the tapas at the mind level. Now we come to what is tapas. 17, 18, 19. So as we mentioned, tapa means opposite of patan. That is, pata means going down, tapan means rising up. Main point in tapa or main point in the 17th chapter is what? Main point. Main point is that principle of sattva, rajas, tamas, faith is what? Whatever I do selflessly, it will be sattvic, it will take me up. Whatever I do with self-centric intention, it is rajasic. And whatever I do which is meaningless and foolish, it is tamasic. No, I don't know what I am doing, but I am doing because I am just feeling like doing foolishness. I don't know why I want this, but I want this. Foolish, meaninglessness. Finding meaning and purpose in life is a higher goal. So it has to shift to self-centric. Self-centricness is better than meaningless and foolishness, foolishly living life, not knowing when I'm going to die, not knowing what am I doing, not knowing why am I doing. This is the main principle. So there are three tapas. We will see. The main point we have already seen. Important note, body, mind, intellect tapas can only be followed by a sattvic person. So tapas is not everyone's cup of tea. Rakshasas did tapas, Rishis do tapas, Munis do tapas. But we see when Rakshasas and Asuras did tapas, greater tapas than Rishis maybe. But what they asked for was more bhoga, more power, more fame. And all of us must do tapas for what? Chitta Shuddhi. Our main goal is Chitta Shuddhi. If I am not doing tapas for Chitta Shuddhi, then what will happen? Punya will be accrued. I will get more punya. And then more punya means I will go to Swarga. And then I will have more bhoga. And then again I will come back. Shraddhaya paraya. Action done with supreme faith, conviction in what I am doing, overall well-being, done with love, understanding because I find great value in it, is called as tapas. Yukta, focused attention without distraction, is sattvic tapas. Right now, when I'm eating, I must eat. When I'm looking at the WhatsApp, I'm looking at the WhatsApp. When I'm reading a scripture, I'm reading a scripture. Very important one. Very, very, very important one tapas we can follow in everyday life. When I'm talking to somebody, I have seen many people, they don't talk to another person looking into other person's eyes. They will look into mobile and talk. They will look here and there and talk. No, even if it is a peon or a beggar, when I'm also giving to a beggar, I must look into eyes and give. Why looking into eyes and giving? Because जाने किस रूप में नारायण आ जाए and taking some wealth from you. This is going to come now, dana. So focused attention without distraction is a tapas. Practice is required. It is not easy. So Bhagavan is telling, as we are concluding Bhagavad Gita in the 17th chapter now, 18 chapters remaining, Bhagavan is saying these are all not very easy practices. So keep in the mind and then practice regularly. Afalakankshi, without anxiety for the fruit. Not that I do not know what is the fruit I am going to get. Not that I do not know what is the result I want. I must be very clear. But I must not be anxious and attached to the result. That is what is very important. No regrets of the past, no anxieties and worries about the future, no confusion in the present. So taptam, practicing this at the body, speech and mind level is called sattvic tapas. So what is rajasic tapas? Action done with three motives. With the motive of gaining reception, honor, worship. So there might be people who give dana, but they want their name to come. There might be people who would be reading scriptures because they want to become a scholar. So that the very, very subtle desire is there that, people should come and listen to from me and I will become famous. My interest is not to become a scholar. My interest to become a seeker. Very, very important difference, subtle difference between becoming a scholar and becoming a seeker. Others should respect me, take advice from me. This is very, very important. Many elderly senior citizens are actually depressed because nobody is coming to them for advice. You should come for me for advice because I have lived a life which has not worked for me. I'm not a happy person. I'm basically a frustrated, irritated person. But you must take advice from me, especially children, grandchildren, neighbors. They must come and ask senior citizens. Okay, what is the advice? First of all senior citizens must take this tapas that without asking, do not give advice. If somebody asks twice, then only give one advice. And we will find that nobody actually asks us. Because today, Google is there, and now more than Google, artificial intelligence is there. Why I will come to natural intelligence like you? I will go to artificial intelligence to ask advice. Artificial intelligence will give me perfect advice. You can go and check. Today you go and check in Chat GPT any advice you want. You ask you in the Chat GPT, how should I live my life? Chat GPT will give you better answer. What should be my diet? Artificial intelligence will give me better answer. What are the roles of a wife? You can put anything in the article. They will give you all the roles. What are the roles of a husband? They will give all the roles. Very interesting. Artificial intelligence we must start working on. Man, others should honor me with titles. Man and Apman, this is not very, very easy. These are very, very subtle, very, very important because I like to go wherever I'm respected. I don't like to go where I'm not respected. It is right. We must not go. But at the same, this should not disturb me because man Apman is happened to whom I. Who is this I? Ego. What is this ego? Ego is a false illusory entity. What is the importance of that man Apman? Puja, others should call me noble, worship me, garland me as I have to do. So much of tapas, that when we do some puja, when we do some kind of tapas, today is my fast, today is my fast. I will tell 10 people. Today I'm practicing this, today I'm practicing, today I'm not eating anything. Today, but why you are telling? today there is my maun, today is my maun. Today I will not eat, but you keep it with yourself so that I will get some kind of appreciation, some kind of fame. These are very subtle things. Very important point. Long time back I had read, Vivekananda had read, in the process of spiritual journey, is a point to be noted. In the journey, in my spiritual growth, what all things go first, second, third, fourth. First, the desire for money will go. Desire for security will go. So some people go to jungle and just meditate, but not very easy. Then these are very easy things. Then he said desire for food will go. Desire for power. This is very, very important. This doesn't go. And then he said very important point to note. The last thing goes before realization is the desire for fame. Mera naam. Appreciation. And for fame, what all things people do, indirectly, directly. After me, I should be remembered. In Satvik Pujanam mentioned of Deva Dvija Guru Paratma that we have already seen. Damba with hypocrisy for showing off one's greatness, pomp and show off. For that, I am doing tapas. Here we might say, after reading, I said, but I am Muslim, so it is not applicable to me. What tapas I am doing? And without tapas, how will I grow? Here, it has no spiritual benefit. It may have transactional benefit. This is called Rajasic Tapas, and the result is Chalam, unstableness, shaky, Adhruvam, uncertain, transitory things I will get. Here we are covering first because basically if I am doing tapas, then only this has value. First of all, I must check what tapas I am doing. Even though I am going to Mahakumbha, I only talk about the crowd and the journey difficulty and is what tapas. First of all, I must say it is a tapas for me. So whatever comes in the way, it is tapas. My mind must remain cheerful. If I don't consider all these yatras as tapas, then one must think, why am I going? So we will take the tamasic tapas. What is tamasic tapas? And then very, very important point what Bhagwan is covering in the last is the dhanam. How to give, what to give, and give up. When we practice giving, then I can give up. And then Arjun is going to say, Bhagwan, all this tapas and all this what you are told is very difficult. As our Arjun, great Arjun, lovable Arjun, he is the best Shishya. He says, Bhagwan, it is very difficult. Can you give me some one thing to practice at the end of 17th chapter? And Bhagwan gives that one thing. All this thing is very difficult. Yajna, dana, tapa, speech, mind, and then you're telling ahara, control karo. What difficult hai? What is to be done? Then Bhagwan is going to come with one tip. That one tip is what? That is very interesting that we will see. ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः